Passions can be many things depending on what you like. For some people, passions can be exercising, surfing, skating, music, but my passions are a little bit different. What I consider to be some of my passions is watching anime, reading anime, playing basketball, or even just hanging out with my friends. I personally used to think that anime was kind of weird, but then eventually with this whole quarantine, I was just on TikTok, and then I saw this one video of this one anime. After that, I just ended up loving watching anime, and then soon enough, it became one of my passions. I, like everybody else, has a passion, but some people may not have one, and personally, I really encourage you guys to get out of your comfort zone and try out new things, because, you only live once. There are so many different type of passions, and I personally think it's important to find a passion because it's like having a goal and like trying out new things. First, I will discuss on how I became to like anime and how it became one of my passions. Then I'll talk about my other passion, which is basketball, and how I started to love the sport. And then last but not least, I will discuss about how my friends changed me, how it became that hanging out with them became one of my passions and all of that. First, anime made me realize a lot of things. And first, it made me realize that not to judge something before I actually see it, or or you can say, not judge. Do not judge a book by its cover. Some of the reasons why I personally really enjoy watching anime is because there's so many different type of genres out there. There's romance, there's action, there's normal type of life anime. There's just so many different type of genres. Personally, I really enjoy watching the romance type of anime, but I also watch different kinds, but that's just me. I also really like the art style of it, and it also made me get into drawing, and it made me like inspired in how visually appealing it is, and inspired me to draw in that style. But that's not the only thing that is my passion. Me, like everybody else, some of their passions can be sports, and that sport happens to be basketball for me. When I was little, I always loved playing basketball or even watching basketball. I love seeing my team play. I know seeing them lose or win, I was always excited to watch them play. I personally love how competitive it is, or just how I make a bond with my team, and I think that's how it became. Soon enough, it became one of my passions, and it made me realize that I'm a very competitive person. I do not like to lose, but when it comes to losing, I take it. I'm not gonna be mad or anything like that. But still, it made me realize that I'm a very competitive person. Now let's talk about my friends and how hanging out with them became one of my other passions. With everything going on, with the whole quarantine and everything, being with my friends kind of helped me a lot because I used to not go out as much because one, I just went through a breakup recently and like I just didn't want to do anything. But recently, I didn't like being at home a lot. I didn't have like not much to do, so I started hanging out with my friends more. And with that, I soon enough became more happy. I started doing new things and exploring new stuff, and I'm really thankful for that because being with them made me realize that I'm passionate for so many things. I love going for car rides or just singing in the car with my like loud as hell, or even just having fun, having adventures, doing dumb stuff, and I'm really thankful for that. I'm glad to have friends that like to try new things and not just stay boring and like do the same thing over and over again. Every time I always hang out with him is like a new adventure, and I'm thankful for that. Although I'm still young and I still have a lot of time to go, I know chances of me having new passions are very high, but I'm also very excited for that. I'm ready to experience new things and not just me staying like how I am now. Because personally, I like to try out new things because you won't regret it until you try it. That's what I like to say. And also, you only live once as well. But in conclusion, anime made me realize a lot of things. Basketball made me the person who I am, made me really competitive, and I appreciate that. And then with my friends, it made me realize to be happy that I'm alive and that I know that things will be better. But there's so many kinds of passion out there. I know I barely even talk about three, but I know hopefully I'll find more. Maybe if it comes to music or other things like that.